As many of you know, I just got back from Nepal. Nepal is near and dear to my heart. The people are amazing. The sights are unrivaled. The food is fantastic. The coffee is amazing, simply amazing. I can show pictures of it, but I won't because my editor is unavailable today. My editor is in Nepal. My editor is in the capital city of Kathmandu, which has been rocked by protests. Protests, why? Protests because the government shut it all down. All what? Websites, all the good ones. That's what we're going to talk about. There's no intro music. There's no background graphics. There's no exciting stuff. But I'm going to show you what the news looks like because this is scary. Here's what happened. Here's what's going on is there were 26 apps banned by the Nepalese government. They include Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, X, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Reddit, Discord, Pinterest, Signal, Threads, WeChat, Quora, Tumblr, Clubhouse, Mastodon, Rumble, and some others, VK, Line, IMO, Zalo, Soul, and Hamro Petro. Well, what? You're banning the country from YouTube, and I mean, a lot of these are just for discussions. Like it's how we communicate. We used to communicate on Telegram. Telegram was banned a while back. And now we do our chats to discuss work on Signal. The government wants him doing this work for me. They rely on remittance as a big source of income, but tourists need social media too. How do you think people find Nepal and decide to go trekking to see the mountains? They do it because we'll get to that. On a speech Sunday, Prime Minister KP Sharma Ali slammed criticism around the social media ban, saying the independence of the nation is greater than the loss of jobs of a handful of individuals. Handful? No, it's not a handful. It's not a handful. It's like a lot. It's almost anyone who works a remote job. And it's everyone who works in any way in tourism, which, heads up, is a big industry in Nepal. How can it be acceptable to defy the law? Well, if the law is wrong, how is it acceptable to not defy it? Disregard the Constitution and disrespect national dignity. In national dignity? What are you talking about? That's crazy. And independence and sovereignty. Look, if you want companies to register, the government claims they took the decision after issuing many warnings to open offices in Nepal. They have to open offices? Okay. However, the bill cited by the government in the ban order, operation, use, and regulation of social media, has not yet been passed by the country's parliament. Parliament hasn't even approved this law, and destroying people's livelihoods. Destroying. This means that the great people I met, the people who have YouTube channels, are literally out of business with no real notice, with like 1 day's notice. They're out of business. There's nothing they could have done differently. They didn't do anything wrong. You're mad because YouTube won't open an office in Kathmandu? Come on. And on a law that hasn't even been ratified by Parliament, enacted. So what's going on? Well, protests. Big, violent protests. At least 16 killed. At least 16 people have been killed over a government ban. The government, has faced mounting criticism. Reddit, LinkedIn, and Pinterest and Signal have been banned. Only 5 companies, including TikTok, complied with the order and were not restricted. So TikTok's okay. But Instagram isn't? What? The ban came in. Instagram. Do you know where pictures of people out in nature enjoying the beauties of Nepal go? They go to Instagram. In my case, they went to X. Do you know how many pictures of beautiful coffees and things I posted to X? I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was there this week because I wouldn't have access to X. And the reality is, I can't go back until these restrictions are lifted. I'm not going to a country where I can't get to YouTube to do my work, where I can't get to X and Reddit, and all these places where the research I do comes from. That's I mean, I spent a little bit of money. Do you want my money? Do you want me to come back? Crazy. The ban came into effect Thursday and subsequently caused chaos, affecting businesses and tourism and leaving people unable to communicate with relatives abroad. On Monday, frustration of the ban boiled over on the streets in the capital, where tens of thousands of largely young people gathered to protest against the order. You know, largely young people, because those are the ones who have those international jobs, who rely on the modern world as it exists in the world. Social media. Clashes with police erupted as protesters broke through barriers and attempted to storm Parliament. Police responded with batons, tear gas, rubber bullets, and water cannon. According to the police, at least 16 people died from serious injuries. My heart goes out to the families of the affected. The government announced that a curfew would remain in place in areas of the capital until 10 p.m. on Monday night. The almost blanket ban came after the Ministry of Communications and Information said it had given the social media companies 7 days to register. 7 days? 7 days is how long it took me to drive from Kathmandu to Pokhara. Come on, guys. It wasn't. It was 7 hours one way, 10 hours the other, but still. A notice from the ministry that subsequently an order had been issued to just deactivate them. Government says that the new regulations are aimed at cracking down on hate speech, fake news, and online crimes. The ban had already drawn condemnation from international rights groups. Yeah. You know, the criminal broke into the house using items from Home Depot. Let's burn down Home Depot. You know, people also use Home Depot to build houses and fix houses. Yeah, but we got to ban Home Depot, you guys. We got to ban it because it can also be used to buy tools to break into houses. So, well, right, but this is a construction town. Everyone will go out of business. Yeah, well, I won't. Yeah. On Sunday, dozens of journalists had gathered to protest, holding up signs with slogans including no shutdown of social networks, no silencing of voices, freedom of expression is our right, and democracy hacked, authoritarianism is back. So this is shocking. This is concerning. This is happening as we speak. This is still unfolding. It is probably, let's see, about, I'm going to say 11 p.m. in Nepal when this goes out on Monday night. Yeah, this was 14 dead as of this article. A curfew was imposed after protesters entered the Parliament building and faced off against the police. Oh, they did enter the Parliament building. Began at 9 a.m. local time Monday. Nepal is 12 hours and 45 minutes ahead of Pacific time, if that helps. Where are they marching? Yeah. I mean, I could look at it and see if I recognize it, but I probably don't. No, I don't recognize it. I don't think I recognize it. But let's see. Police have opened fire. Protesters are angry about corruption. So let's talk about corruption real quick, shall we? Before I got to Nepal, I had a great conversation with a gentleman in Hong Kong at the airport waiting to board the plane with me. He is Nepal born, but has been living in the U.S. for the last, 30 years or so. He's a senior engineer type. And the first thing he said, oh, yes, a lovely country, wonderful country. I'll never move back, though, because of the corruption. It's everywhere. It's everything. I was like, that's interesting. Well, I'll tuck that in my back pocket. That's a great anecdote. And then I get there, and everyone I talk to at every level, and that's not true. There were a couple who didn't mention it, but just about everyone said, yes, wonderful country. We love it here. But the corruption is structural. It's load bearing. Everyone in industry, everyone in business, and the handful of people in politics said, yes, it's great. We're growing. We're thriving. Boy, if it wasn't for the corruption. So I get it. I'm not saying fix it. I'm not saying I know better. I'm not saying other governments are immune from corruption. They definitely are not. But when the people of Nepal complain about corruption, I believe that that's a valid complaint because it's so endemic that absolutely everyone has to mention it, even to passing strangers, to strangers from foreign lands visiting, however briefly. Protesters pushed through barbed wire and forced riot police to retreat. They were outnumbered and sought safety inside the Parliament complex before eventually opening fire. Parliament complex. I think I walked past the backside of that building because the walls and color look familiar and there was a lot of security. More than 50 people were injured. The army has been deployed. So, yeah, you're hurting the people. And I mean, obviously, physically, you're hurting the people because this is more than just, this isn't controlling dissent, guys. Social media controls life. It controls how many people come to your country. If the local hotels and restaurants and tour guides can't build up and nurture a following internationally, they're not going to have as much business. If tourists come there and want to post, hey, look at my cool... Where's Snapchat? What happened? Oh, I'll post it on X. Where am I? Especially people from the West do not care for that kind of restriction. They will lose their minds if they can't. I mean, there are people who go to Nepal just for the gram, just to post. But what are the social media apps being banned? All of them. Just about all of them. Yeah. Yeah. The independence is greater. They took the decision after issuing warnings. Guys, crazy. So my heart goes out to the people of Nepal. I stand with you in spirit. Believe me, if I was there, I would not leave the hotel because I'm not interested in going to prison in a foreign country, in any country. If this happened here, maybe it'd be a different story. So hopefully we don't face those kinds of issues here. So no second cleanly edited video today, not from Nepal. There will be a live stream tonight covering the Megapack event. No fancy sign off, just a cry for freedom and patience and temperance and sanity.